Ladies and gentlemen,
the most transformative sport event on earth is about to begin.
Those who are in the stadium are on their feet.
It's just a long, niggly climb.
Because it is desperation now. And there it is.
Gold! What a result! Another remarkable athlete about to write another chapter in Paralympic history.
Quiet, please. Hey.
Bonjour, and welcome to Day 6 of the Paris 2024 Paralympics on Keep the Flame Alive, the podcast for fans of the Olympics and Paralympics. I am your host, Jill Jarris, coming to you from the Hotel du Podcast. Joined as always by my lovely co-host, Alison Brown. Alison, bonjour, ça va?
You have ushered me into a life of thievery. This is like Les Miserables, where Fantine just follows into this life of crime.
What happened?
We'll get to that.
All right. We have a follow-up file. We're just getting right into the show. We have follow-up file, Vision Pad.
I saw it today.
Oh, you saw it today. I saw it today at Blind Football, and we got in a little explanation, and you found a reel about it, and producer Ben found a reel about it, and this is amazing. So Vision Pad, what I saw was the back end of Vision Pad, and did you see it? Somebody using it, or did you see it at Goalball because you sat in the press tribune in the right spot?
I saw the back end of it as well. So somebody creating the Vision Pad data that would then output to somebody with a visual impairment. Yes.
So if you're blind, you can get this Vision Pad, which is this metal box with the like I said, the top looks like a painting. It's got a frame and then a little indent to a flat space, but that flat space is the field of play for your sport. And the little it's magnetized. The little disc thing is a ball, and you can follow that with your hand and know exactly what is going on with the game at any given time. And there's other tactile notifications for your fingers to know different things about the field and what's going on too.
It's like making, I almost want to say it's like live action Braille.
Yeah, it is. It is. And the reel you found, I really can't remember who it's from. British woman. She said
I think it's one of the Channel 4.
Oh.
I think it's a Channel 4 video
okay.
explaining adaptive sports.
Yes. And she said that was the first time she'd ever been able to experience knowing what happens on the sports playing field. She'll be at an event and can hear the cheering, and maybe somebody can describe it to her, but she doesn't know exactly what's going on at all times. This was the first time she'd done that. And then she said her brain was overloaded with information. I can imagine.
Right, because if you've never used that kind of information input, that's a whole new muscle that you've got to figure out. How does that translate to how you're envisioning the sport and how you're experiencing the sport?
So, yeah, when the Goalball folks talked to me last night and they were like, oh, it's just wild. It is. It's amazing, and it's really, really cool. And the Vision Pad is Paris 2024 branded.
I wonder how much, well, we'll have to find out how much one of those things cost.
Good question. Because I tried Googling it when I was sitting at Goalball because I really wanted to know what it was. And I was not getting anything. So there's got to be some other way. We got to work the librarian brains to try to figure out what this system is.
And is it consumerable? Is it, you'll have it here, but it's not really available to consumers on a broader level yet.
Or will it be available if you go to blind sports eventually? I don't know. It was really, really cool. Well, let's begin the baguette. You did not tell me about the quiet waves at blind football.
They did not do the quiet waves at blind football, but today at Goalball, they did them. So we were both experiencing this, and the slow motion one too.
Slow motion ones, and they did slow mo at wheelchair basketball too.
So I had not seen it at blind football. So this is the wave, done to music, at mine because it was during a break, but slowly.
Yes.
And then they speed up the music, and it goes faster. I have never seen this before, and it was fantastic.
It's been a wave extravaganza today. And by wave, I mean they call it the Mexican wave here, which just floors me to no end.
The French do love their waves.
It is amazing. It is amazing. What experiences do you have?
I walked around Arena Sud. I didn't go too far today, so there was very little cultural experiences.
You made it out alive, too.
But you,
I went to finally
got to Team USA House.
I did go to Team USA House. They have interviews with athletes who medal at Team USA House the day after or 2 days after. And Grace Norman won yesterday in the paratriathlon, and Matt Stutzman was also there. And so I got on the list to interview them. We'll have tape at the end of this, and you have to ask the day before, and you get the notification. So I was prepped for a great day of blind football, a great morning of blind football, and then a great night of wheelchair basketball. Get to blind football. I got in. So, okay.
And you got the notification that you were going to have to be at Team USA House at what time?
1 o'clock.
So you were going to get maybe one game of blind football in, if that.
Yeah, because blind football, I now realize I have to adjust my scheduling for when I arrive places because the security guards are all on pin trading. So I get to the venue, which I went to a different stop on the RER. So I went further, which was better.
Did you go to Port Alma?
No, this time I went to Champ de Mars because Port Lama, I was so disoriented when I got out. I just was like, where do I go? And I kept looking at the Eiffel Tower, and I eventually
See, if I'd known
it.
you were going to do that, I would have told you not to do that because the walk from Champ de Mars is, I found it much more complicated because there were roadblocks everywhere.
Oh, I didn't
Maybe that
have
was just because it was paratriathlon day.
That may be it. So I get to the entry, and of course, everybody wants to trade. I'm like, oh, I never got to get to blind, because the entry is still like you got to go. It's closer to Champ de Mars than it is to blind football. So I walked past blind football to get into the entry, and then I had to make a U-turn and go back, and I missed the beginning, and then check the email because we'll get to this. I have no data again. I can't use the internet if I'm not on Wi-Fi. And so I finally get on everything, and then I spend a chunk of the football time figuring out how to get to Team USA House from where I am.
Which is not easy.
Not super easy. It wasn't horrible, but it was going to take time. And then I had to leave blind football early. And now at the Champ de Mars blind Stade Eiffel, or tour, what is it called? The
Eiffel Tower Stadium, Jill.
Thank you.
Let's just
Thank
keep
you.
it simple.
They now check your bags on the way out, too.
Yes, they do.
Which I didn't realize, and I don't know why, except for maybe people are stealing plates from the venue media center. I don't know.
I don't know what they're checking for because they don't check it too extensively.
No.
They just sort of look in and say, c'est bon. And
Yeah, and I'm not sure what. It's really, really weird. And so then once they have to check my backpack, they're like, ooh, you want to trade? I'm like, okay, yes, of course I will trade
so
pins.
you need to learn the word le cadeau.
I did le cadeau, but I also got pins in the deal, too.
See, I just le cadeau and keep walking.
Oh.
I just give it to them.
Yeah, so then I got to Team USA House. Team USA House was, you get there by 1 because nobody's showing up until 2. And so I sat, and the nice thing was I had time to think of questions because the brain is getting really bad. And it would be nice to have questions prepared besides, oh my gosh, this is really awesome for you.
Which, honestly, in the mix zone, that is kind of our standard question.
But this was special. And and then afterwards I could wander around Team USA House, but Team USA House didn't open until 4, so it was like no big deal. I would not have paid $400.
I'm not surprised you say that. I mean, to pay $400, it needs to be very special.
And I think you need to be a person who enjoys hobnobbing. And I'm guessing that for the Olympics, they had just a ton of Olympians there. And that would have helped the situation. They probably had heavy snacks because people were setting up tables. There was a bar, which I believe might have been pay.
One drink, I think.
Oh,
you get when
wonder.
you go
Okay,
in.
yeah. It's a big open area. They have a big Ralph Lauren store. They have a when you walk into like the entryway area, there's a USA stand, like a selfie thing, but it's got a grid in the USA so that all the champions can put locks on, like the bridge thing, which is really cute. That's really cute. There's a little display of Olympic memorabilia from one of their big donors, and Maya Frige met a bunch of mascots. That was cool, I thought.
Bonjour, mes amis.
And there was a little Leroy Neiman exhibit with paintings there. And that was about it. And it was open. And they have events. They do have people coming in. So Alana Nichols and Bobby Body was going to be there to talk about powerlifting. Mallory Wegman. There was going to be a meet and greet with Mallory Wegman. So and the medalists here may have stuck around. I don't know, but and they had some TVs. The USA was on. USA Network was on playing sitting volleyball. It was like, this is actually
this is not geo-blocked.
Yeah, no. So it may have been fun. It probably, like Ben said, with the hospitality house that he went to with the judo ticket, it'd be more fun if you're with people. And it would probably be more fun if there's a lot of special people there. You might get enough heavy snacks and the one drink to make, like, I think it's 125, 150 for
I don't
para.
know. Yeah, I don't know how much it is for para. For Olympics, it was $250, $350.
Yeah, it was very, very expensive. So I'm not sure that would be worth it to me. Maybe for Paralympics, I don't know. But I don't think that's my kind of scene, to be quite honest. And I realized that usually Team USA House is closed to the public, and this was super special and a fundraiser. But it just, nah. I did go to wheelchair basketball. Speaking of the wave, the announcers go, the record for the wave, one continuous wave in the Paris Arena is 20 minutes.
They wanted to break it.
Can we beat it? And he never followed up on that. He did follow up. He said at 8:32, you've been at this for 9 minutes. Keep it up. And it kind of straggled for a little bit. Then it got better. There were some sections that were better at doing the wave than others. And the end of the game was 9:00 on the dot. And it was still going.
Oh, so they did. I guess it depends on what you consider going.
Yeah, I guess so. But, I mean, I wish the announcer would have said, you did it!
Something. He forgot.
Yeah, I think so.
Because his brain is tired. He's been doing this announcing for many, many days.
I know. And I will say the basketball announcers are very good. It's a good French guy and good American. But I think the pairs change because I had different people from the night before. And the first man I heard from who was the English announcer was pure NBA basketball in-house announcer. That was really good. But the announcing teams are very nice, and it's kind of like Oscar from Beijing.
Well, given that I think there were 4 wheelchair basketball games today, you could one announcing team could not possibly have done that. So my guess is they do one switch off.
Yeah.
So that they can then go. I mean, just on your voice, that would be. Never mind on your energy, that would be taxing.
But it's a really good team. It's fun. You don't get to go out to wheelchair basketball. Did you not put that on your schedule?
It is a possibility.
Okay, try.
I mean, I know. I really want it. If nothing, I want to see the floor in person. So I might go see. I really wanted to swing it so I could go see Brian Bell and see Team USA, but I don't think that's in the offing.
Too bad. I am surprised at how much I like wheelchair basketball.
Really?
I am neither here nor there on stand-up basketball.
Oh, but
it's
wheelchair
fine.
basketball's better.
Oh my gosh, it's so
because
cool to watch.
It's so much better ball handling.
Yes.
You don't see the slam dunks and the using your size as everything. You see people actually, can shoot a ball and make it pretty and do the pretty passes. And
I was thinking of you tonight with all the passing and like, Alison would love this. Yeah. You do get there were some big guys, if they were stand-up, they'd be tall. with really long arms and one just palm stuff and just puts it in the basket. It's awesome. Anyway.
I'm still waiting for Brian Bell to palm my head. If he wins, I'm going to be like, dude, you're a gold medalist now. You got to indulge me.
What volunteer job or officiating job would you like to do?
So this was a job I saw last night at Wheelchair Rugby, and now again, because now I'm looking for it. So there are two people at Goalball. There was only one person at Wheelchair Rugby who goes around with a little wheelie cart and collects all the towels.
Oh,
Which I assume they're going to laundry. So in my head, they then take their little basket and they're like, well, now I'm going to go wash all the towels. And you would think laundry would not be a fun job, but I actually, out of all house chores, laundry is probably my favorite.
Oh, okay.
Because it has a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Oh,
I mean, if I had five
yeah.
kids, I probably wouldn't feel that way. But I do love doing a good towel load because it gets all fluffy and it folds so nicely. And this is all the same towel, so they would all fold and the same size, and you could stack them up all neat, and they're pink.
Very nice.
No fabric softener in your towels.
No.
No. Takes away the absorbency.
I have a bone to pick with you about blind football because you did not tell me a lot of stuff that was very, very cool, including the Get Loud guy.
So, yes, there is someone who tells you when you can make noise.
Yes, and he's got this giant sign that is in French on one side and English on the other, and the English says "Get Loud," and he's running all over the place. The whole team was fun because there was a shh cam, I think.
See, at my game, they did not have a shush cam, and the Get Loud guy was not running around. He was just sort of stationary.
Oh,
so
no,
it must be
this
a
one not only ran around the whole field, but danced with Frisch and did like shimmies. They had a whole thing going on. It was fantastic.
I did see Frisch shimmying, but poor Frisch was shimmying by himself like a stripper.
Poor Frisch. But the Get Loud guy was a lot of fun. It was a another good announcing team and another fun venue. So I'm bummed that I only got partial game of blind football. I'm working on getting back there. Oh, speaking of baguettes.
It's baguette.
It's baguette time. Yes. So we enjoy bringing this coverage of the Olympics and Paralympics to you. We hope you have enjoyed our daily coverage and our adventures and misadventures and bringing you a different perspective of the games that you can't get anywhere else, i.e. NBC or whoever your local media groups are. We'd like to bring it to you unfiltered, which is the most fun way and gives you a real feel of what it's like to be here. However, that being here comes with a cost, and we really need you to help keep our flame alive as well. So we ask you, if you enjoyed this coverage, kick us a little bit of money, a little dough, so to speak, maybe $20.24 for 2024. We have a variety of ways to donate on our support page. That's flamealivepod.com/support. We take Venmo, we take PayPal. If you would like to be an ongoing contributor, we have Patreon. And all of the patrons during the games get a special photo of the day that is exclusive and goes nowhere else.
If you're a stripper, we'll take singles. Like the Frisch at blind football.
And if you are at the $5 a month patron level and up, you get exclusive audio and video. Today, you guys got the audio of my mixed zone athletes that are not TKFLASTANIs. So it was Brian Seaman, who's a wheelchair racer, Ryan Madero.
Yes.
And I forgot, he was on Survivor, the show Survivor. He learned from another contestant about the Paralympics. So that's how I know. Then I spent time at wheelchair basketball trying to watch Survivor clips. That was not a good scene. And then also Nick Mayhew, which is really good, really interesting conversation with him. So that went out today. Also found some hockey video from field hockey in the Olympics with the little band outside. So that's getting your way as well. Again, that's flamealivepod.com/support. Into daily results, blind football. I saw Colombia versus Morocco, partial. Left the stadium, walked outside the perimeter of the venue, and heard all the cheering, and that was the only goal that was happened.
And this is because I saw Colombia yesterday, scoreless yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
So this is their first goal of the tournament.
Colombia beat Morocco 1-0. This was so much fun to watch.
Wasn't it?
It's one of those, I could not think of a better phrase than the Toyota, and I hate to shill for Toyota, but we have said many times they are a perfect sponsor for the Paralympic movement because they're coming up with so many things that help differently abled people move around. And all I could think of was the Start Your Impossible campaign that they've got going on now for this games. And you just don't realize what is possible until you see something like blind football or goalball.
And I read a great post today on Instagram, and I apologize for not knowing who it was. I think it was just somebody who is disabled. Talk about watching the Paralympics and seeing the Paralympians is not just about how amazing these people are. It's also about what people can do when they're given opportunities. So when people with visual impairment who love soccer are given a chance to play soccer, they play soccer at an extremely high level.
Right? It is really, really cool. So I'm hoping to get back out to another game or two to see more and take in more. We didn't talk about the field yesterday because you had noted it on the show sheet, but we didn't talk about it. Most of the surfaces in Paris have been purple or pink.
This is a beautiful shade of aqua, I think.
Yeah, aqua, the teal, that teal spectrum that they have going on here. But it is beautiful.
It looked beautiful in person. I hope it looks as beautiful on the television. Mm-hmm. You know, it's one of those colors that could play a lot of different ways, but in person, it's quite striking.
Mm-hmm. A couple matches today was Argentina beat Japan 1-0. China and Brazil had a 0-0 tie. This is really a low-scoring tournament. And then France beat Turkey 2-0. So I'm sure on the TV here there were a lot of merci, merci, merci.
You do love that they
thank
the athletes for just competing.
We had it on again. We had some swimming on, and they thanked one of the swimmers.
Alex Fortel.
Yes, for getting a medal. It was fantastic. Boccia.
I went to Boccia this morning to see Alison Levine and Julian Ciobanu. It was the first session, so it was pretty empty. Filled up by the time I left, just because that session started early. They were playing China. It was a really exciting match. I'll get to that in a second. You didn't tell me. You told me about the measuring devices. You didn't tell me they were calipers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I was hoping you would say something about getting around. The one big thing I forgot about blind football, they had the biggest marker for the press tribune I've ever seen. It's like 2 feet tall. It was the best. I took a picture. If I go back, I might have somebody take a picture of me next to it because I loved it so much.
I had no trouble because thankfully they haven't moved any of the press tribunes in Arena Sud. So I was in Arena Sud all day, saw 3 different sports. Boccia was quieter than I expected it to be. I don't know why in my head the balls were hard and would clunk like pool balls, but they're not. They're soft.
Yeah.
So you can't really hear anything. There's not a lot of yelling like there is in curling. People were generally quiet. There would be some chatting between the players, but very quiet, which was almost disconcerting, but also I think that led to your mesmerizing observation because it was just this very low murmur going throughout, because there was maybe 4 or 6 matches. I can't remember if we were using all 6, but there are 6 courts available.
Yeah, it's a lot of courts. And I will say I was also mesmerized by Alison's wind-up, so to speak. Like, she's got a long approach to her throws, and it's really like, it just sucks you in.
So does Julian. He does the same sort of multi-swing throw. They were playing the Chinese pair, and did I write down who they were playing. No, I didn't. The woman of the Chinese pair is the one who won the gold medal last night.
Oh, okay.
So she came out very pumped. It seemed like the Canadians were a little conservative at the beginning because they got down 0-5.
Whoa.
In the first two ends. Then in the third end, in the second to last throw, Julian did this game saver where he arced it over the other balls and just dropped it right next to the jack.
What?
You know, one of those beautiful shots like we see in curling.
Yeah.
And that shifted the entire match. They won 8-5. In the fourth end, it was 5-0, and they were much more aggressive, much more confident in their throws. So I think they just kind of shook it off at the beginning. So after there was several Canadians there. So I went over to the Canadians and I said, "Are you Alison's people?" And they said, "No, Alison's people are down there." So I got to see Mrs. Levine, who told me I could call her Roberta, who apparently listens to the show even when Alison's not on it.
Hi, Mrs.
So hi,
Levine.
Roberta. And I just sort of asked her how Alison was feeling, and she had the same observation, like, yeah, they were a little conservative. Oh, here, I did write it down. Lin Jimei is the Chinese gold medalist. Apparently, this Chinese team doesn't do much on the circuit. They don't see them much. So I think Alison and Julian were a little unsure as to what they were going to bring and how that was going to play out. So once they got to that third and fourth end, they said, okay, we know what's going on. But they were pumped. They were excited at the end of it. So she looked really, really good. And they also won their second match of the day over Croatia. They've got their quarterfinal tomorrow against Ukraine.
Nice.
So there was lots of other mixed pairs and mixed teams and lots of different classes happening today as well.
Then we move over to Goalball, which then you moved over to a different
I moved
Sud
over
arena.
to Goalball. I got to see two matches, but we'll give the results first. For the men's classifications, 7th and 8th place, France beat Egypt 6-4. In the men's classification, 5th and 6th place, Iran beat the USA 4-3. I spoke to another reporter that I had met at the HPC. I did not speak to any of the players from USA. He did. And said they were pretty devastated. That was the word that he used. So I think this was a tough loss. I think the whole tournament was very frustrating to them. So Tyler Marin, who's in his 5th Paralympics, is retiring. So to not have a great tournament, because this is who Keith, my reporter friend, spoke to, was kind of heartbreaking for him. We're hoping that some more money gets thrown blind sports way in the U.S.
Now that the games are going to shift to L.A.
And you know you're going to be in the tournament. Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Let's hope so. But remember, we talked with Molly Quinn, and USA Blind Sports not only governs Goalball, they also govern blind football, which we get a buy, or we get the automatic entry, and we don't have a team. So they're building a team now. Hopefully they're getting enough money. I don't know. The Goalball Center is not that far from my house. I mean, by not that far, I mean like maybe a 2 or 3 hour drive. Doable.
So the matches that I saw were the women's quarterfinals. I saw China and France. China ended up beating France 12-2. You wouldn't have known it by the crowd.
Oh no, it doesn't matter.
It
France
doesn't
is
matter.
playing. They're on it. They will will them to whatever outcome.
I felt kind of bad for the referee having to say quiet, please. She definitely broke out her mom voice or her teacher voice. She got very frustrated saying quiet, please to the crowd. And they sang the French national anthem any time they could. I think I heard it 4 times during this match. And Goalball is not an anthem sport. They do not play the anthems beforehand. But the crowd was not having it. I could hear the ball, and then I couldn't hear the ball. And then I could hear the ball again. It was almost like depending on how they threw the ball affected how well I could hear it.
That's interesting. But I know exactly what you're saying because you could hear the ball better in blind football than you could in
Yes.
goalball. And we're higher up. We were farther away.
Right. In goalball, you're right there. Mm-hmm. It's very close. And the thing we noted, because there was more goalballs tonight on the television when we came back, the court on TV looks very wide. It is not as wide as that fisheye lens is giving you the impression of.
It's small.
You are close to each other. So when you throw that ball, you got to be quick to stop it. You don't have all this time for it rolling along and you can catch the sound. No, it is fast. Second game I saw was Canada-Israel. They were even faster.
Wow.
Israel is quick. They're quick on turning over the ball in terms of like the ball comes to them, they throw it right away.
Oh,
There's no setup. There's no let's discuss. It's I have the ball in my hand. I'm throwing it right now.
U.S. men did that last night from time to time. They were like, we got to hurry this play up. And it's really cool to see the play speed and slow down again. That's it's interesting strategy at work.
So Israel beat Canada 5-1. And in the other two matches, Brazil beat Japan 2-0. Turkey beat Korea 6-3. So the women's semifinals will be Israel versus China. First time Israel has made the semis in this tournament, and Brazil versus Turkey.
In para archery, we had women's individual recurve open. Gold went to China's Wu Chongyan, silver went to China's Wu Yang, and bronze went to Elisabetta Muno from Italy. And also archery related, we had Kel Zhu on, and Matt Stutzman was on tonight. It was fantastic. I mean, I came in the room grumpy. I was really grumpy day. And because it rained, and although Jill brought her umbrella and brought her jacket, which was good because wheelchair basketball, the concourse is 1,000,000 degrees, or a zillion degrees, as listener Don said, and the arena is negative a zillion degrees. I was super happy to have the jacket. But came in, and I was super grumps, and then Kel Zhu was on, and I was happy again. And then
Matt Stutzman was on the screen the second you walked in the room. Yeah. I hadn't even noticed that he was on yet.
It was fantastic. Para-athletics, we had a nice session today, or a couple of sessions today. Men's high jump, we're going to start with jumps. High jump T63, which is a leg impairment. Gold went to Ezra Frech from the USA with a Paralympic record for the T63 class. Silver went to India's Sharad Kumar from India. He got a Paralympic record for the T42 class, and bronze went to Mariappan Tangavelu from India, also in the T42 class. Well, I guess Ezra Frech wasn't being all pouty like he was in Tokyo. Remember that? That was hilarious.
I don't remember. I remember him being grumpy.
Because he lost, and he was very, very angry, and then he had to go to the mix zone for NBC and was with another person, and the other person was speaking, and Ezra was just super pouty.
Well, he's very young.
I know he's young.
And he was that much younger.
But he's from Southern California, so he should be trained.
I know.
Anyway, men's long jump, T37 class, which is a side impairment. Gold went to Argentina's Brian Leonel Impelzera. Silver went to Samson Opio from Kenya, and bronze went to Malaya's Evangelista Cardoso from Brazil. And in the T47 class for long jump, which is an arm class, gold went to Robiel Yanquiel Cervantes, or Sol Cervantes from Cuba. Silver went to Wang Hao from China, and bronze went to Nikita Kotikov from neutral Paralympic athletes.
Shot put. Lots of shot put.
Lots of shot put today. So we start with the F32 class for men. That's a seated class. Gold goes to Anastasios Konstantinidis from Greece. Silver to Alexei Churkin from neutral Paralympic athletes. And bronze to Lazaros Stefanidis from Greece.
Konstantinidis won another gold throwing something else. A day or two a row.
Clubs.
He just throws things. He sits down, he throws things, and throws them far.
In the F20 class for men shot put, it's an intellectual impairment class. Gold goes to Alexander Yarvi from Ukraine with a world record. Silver goes to Muhammad Ziad Zolkofi from Malaysia. And bronze goes to Maxim Koval from Ukraine. In women's shot put, we had the F-34 class, which is some trunk and arm mobility. Gold goes to Zhou Li Wan from China. Silver to Lucina Kornobis from Poland. And bronze to Saida Amoudi from Morocco. Moving over to javelin, we have men's F-46, which is a upper body side impairment. Gold goes to Guillermo Verona Gonzalez from Cuba. Silver to Ajit Singh from India, who got a personal best. And bronze to Sudhir Singh Gurjar from India. Women's javelin, F-56 final, that's a leg impairment or absence of legs. Gold goes to Diana Kremina from Latvia for a Paralympic record. Silver to Raisa Rocha Machado from Brazil. And bronze to Lin Sitong from China. Women's discus, we had the F-11, which is a visual impairment class. Gold to Zhang Lian Min from China. Silver to Assunta Lignati from Italy. And bronze to Shui Yun Hui from China.
And Lignati throws things too. This is a second medal for her.
Going to the track, we have several 100-meter races. First up, we have a T11. We have two visual impairment classes. First one's with the guide runner. Gold goes to Brazil's Jerusa Gaber dos Santos with Gabriel Aparecido dos Santos Garcia for her guide. Silver goes to Liu Qiqing from China with guide Chen Shenming. And bronze to Lorena Silva Spoldadore with guide Renato Benhur Costa Oliveira. For the T13, which is a less impaired visual impairment, gold to Lamia Valieva from Azerbaijan with a world record. Silver to Rayana Suarez da Silva. And bronze to Orla Comerford from Ireland. And then in the T47 class, which is an arm impairment, gold to Kiara Rodriguez from Ecuador. Sorry, I just all of a sudden realized I'm not saying 5 names here. Silver to Brittany Mason from the USA, from Cleveland.
Oh, is she?
She is from Cleveland, and she got silver, I believe, in Tokyo too. So it's an exciting day for Cleveland. And bronze to Anna Grimaldi from New Zealand.
Go Silver Ferns.
In the men's 200 T51 class, which is a wheelchair class, gold to Cody Fernie from Canada with a personal best. Silver to Tony Pispanen from Finland. We have not fed Finland very much at all during these games.
Yay.
And bronze to Peter Genin from Belgium. In the women's 200-meter T64, which is a one-leg amputation below the knee, gold to Kimberly Alkemade from Netherlands with a Paralympic record. Silver to Marlena van Gazenwinkel from Netherlands. And bronze to Irmgard Ben Suzanne from Germany. And then we have 400-meter races. We have a lot of these. Women's T20, intellectual impairment. Gold to Yulia Shilar from Ukraine with a personal best. Silver to Aysel Onder from Turkey. And bronze to Deepti Chivanji from India.
Same race on the men's side.
Oh, excellent. Gold to John Sebastian Obando Asperia from Colombia. Silver to David Jose Pineda Mejia from Spain. And bronze to Giovanni Felipe from Mauritius. For the T36 class, for the men, that's all 4 limbs have some sort of impairment. James Turner from Australia won gold with a world record. William Steadman from New Zealand won silver with
Go Silver Ferns.
Personal best for William. And bronze goes to Alexis Sebastian Chavez from Argentina. For the women's T12, which is a visual impairment class, gold to Elian Omar Durand from Cuba with guide Uniel Kindalan Vargas. Silver to Iran's Hajar Safarazada Gajarjani, who ran with no guide.
Right, this is a class that you can have a guide or no guide.
And then bronze to Oksana Botchuk from Ukraine with guide Mikita Barbanov. Durander, gold medalist, is a 4-peat in the 400, either T12 or T13, because sometimes they class different races, probably depending on how many entrants there are. So this is her 5th and final games. That's a lot of games to go to be quite honest.
To be a track runner and to be at 5 games, that's a lifetime.
I know, but she'll be in 2 more races. You'll have 2 more times to catch her before she hangs up her spikes. In the women's 400 T37 class, it's a one-side impairment. Gold to Natalia Kobzar from Ukraine with a personal best. Silver to Jiang Fenfen from China. And bronze to Victoria Slanova from Neutral Athletes also with a personal best. And then we had the T38 class for the men with our Jaden Blackwell.
Hey, look.
He got gold, another world record. And then silver to Ryan Medrano from
Your
the
new
USA.
best friend.
My new best friend. And then bronze went to Juan Alejandro Campos-Sanchez from Colombia, who got a personal best. So good night for TKFLASTAN there.
Now we have a whole bunch of 1,500 meters.
All right. T11, which is visual impairment. Gold to Yeltsin Jacques from Brazil with guide Guilherme dos Anjos Santos. Silver to Yitea Jigsaw from Ethiopia with guide Esubalu Nabera. And bronze to Julio Cesar Agripinos dos Santos from Brazil with guide Michael Batistas dos Santos. Another visual impairment class, the T13, gold to Alexander Kostin from Neutral Athletes, who got a Paralympic record. Silver to Roué Jababli from Tunisia, and bronze to Anton Kuliatin from Neutral Athletes. And then moving over to wheelchair classes, in the men's 1500, gold went to Jin Hua, silver to Marcel Hugh from Switzerland, and bronze to China's Dai Yung Jiang, who got a personal best. And if I didn't say this, gold went to China. Daniel Romanchuk got 9th.
With the season's best.
So that's pretty good.
I tell you, if there's a T50, if there are wheelchairs racing, Daniel Romanchuk is in that race.
Right. And then we had a women's 1500 T54 wheelchair class. Gold went to Katharina de Brunner from Switzerland with the Paralympic record. This is her 3rd gold so far of these games.
And I think she's another one. If there are women in a wheelchair, she's
there.
gonna win the race.
Silver goes to Samantha Kinghorn from Great Britain, and bronze to Susanna Scaroni from USA.
She's having a good games too.
Para-equestrian. Side note, for grades 1, 2, and 3, they allow companion horses who may stand adjacent to the arena. So we'll look into why this
what
is
does that
helpful.
mean?
Yes, exactly. It was a crummy day this morning, foggy and rainy. That affects the equestrian as well because they're outdoors. That can't be fun. This is kind of a bummer because it was kind of an individual day. The 2-time Tokyo 2020 gold medalist Tobias Tornig Jorgensen from Denmark withdrew at the last minute because his horse got travel sickness.
I mean, this is one of the reasons that I love talking to teams of 2 is because you have that, it's only 2 of you, but it's not yourself. And the person and the horse is a team of 2. They're equal in achieving the goal. Mm-hmm. So if your horse gets sick, your horse gets sick. And the worst part is you can't communicate with the horse. I mean, you can, but you can't.
And the horse can kind of communicate with you, but not exactly.
They can't.
Not the same communication skills.
With the way we have been dealing with, there are a lot of horses that communicate better than some of the people we've had to deal with in our travels.
Or me by now.
So yeah, that is heartbreaking when one of a pair is sick or hurt and then the pair cannot compete.
Para-equestrian is all dressage here. And we had individual events in all of the grades. So the lower the number, the higher the impairment you start, and the less the horse does in a way. So they start with a walk and they can start building on that as the abilities increase. So we have grade 1, which is a walking class. Gold goes to Richard Snikus from Latvia on King of the Dance. He got the first Paralympic gold medal for Latvia, not in para-athletics.
That's a surprise. Mm-hmm. I wonder if that's only summer. Oh, I bet it's both.
Could be. I don't know. But that was a nice little fun fact. Yeah. Then Roxanne Tronell from USA with Fantastico H won silver, and bronze went to Sarah Morganti from Italy on Maribel. In grade 2, gold went to Fiona Howard from the U.S. on Diamond Dunes. Silver went to Katrine Christensen from Denmark on Gortlingsgard Quarter. And bronze went to Georgia Wilson from Great Britain on Sakura. And then we had grade 3. Rebecca Hart from the U.S. on Florentina won gold. Her 5th Paralympics, but first individual medal, which is nice. Silver goes to Rikst Vanderhorst from Netherlands on Royal Funk, and bronze goes to Natasha Baker from Great Britain on Dawn Chorus.
Horses don't get enough attention in equestrian in general.
No, they don't. Moving over to Paris swimming, again, it's another big day in the pool. We have the starting off with the S7 class. These swimmers work harder at stroke timing. It's a mixed class of impairments. Men's 100-meter backstroke, S7. Gold goes to Yuri Shenhur from Ukraine. Silver to Andrei Trusov from Ukraine. And bronze to Federico Bicelli from Italy. In the S9 class, gold goes to Yahor Shachalakanu from Neutral Athletes, who set a Paralympic record. Silver to Hugo Didier from France. And bronze to Bogdan Mozgovoi from Neutral Athletes. It was a big day in the pool for Hugo.
Well, any day that Hugo's in the pool is a big day for France.
Exactly.
Because there is nothing like when you're in that stadium and they are chanting Hugo, Hugo, Hugo.
And then there's the second best thing is watching it on TV when they're like, Merci Hugo. I love that they thank the athletes from the commentator's box.
So same race, 100-meter backstroke on the women's side. Gold goes to Christy Raleigh-Crossley from the United States with a Paralympic record. Silver to Nuria Marquez Soto from Spain. And bronze to Mariana Ribeiro from Brazil. Men's 200-meter freestyle in the S4 class. Gold goes to Ami Omar Dadian of Israel. Silver to Roman Zhandanov from Neutral Paralympic Athletes. And bronze to Japan's Suzuki Takayuki. Then we move over to the S6 class. It's a moderate impairment on one side, high impairment in legs and trunk. This is another one of these classes where you're going to see a lot of different disabilities. We have the 50-meter butterfly, both men and women. For the men, gold goes to Wang Zhigang from China. Silver to our best Colombian friend, Nelson Crispin Corzo, who we got to watch. We got the replay.
And he wasn't that far behind either.
He was not.
That was a close match or race for all three there.
And bronze is Laurent Chadard from France. On the women's side, gold goes to Jiang Yuyang from China. Silver to Luao Xiaoming from China. And bronze to Mayara do Amaral Petzold from Brazil. Brazil's having a good games in the pool.
They are having a good games, and they're doing well in the medal stands. We don't necessarily talk about the overall medal count. China, as you know, is just dominating these games. I'm sure hosting in 2008 helped to open their eyes to what they needed to do for Paralympics, a desire to be the best on the world stage, and they have money to invest. But here is one example of their dominance. In the men's and women's 50-meter backstroke S5 class, China swept the podium for both races. I cannot believe this. It was just unreal to me. So for the men, gold went to Huan Weiyi, silver to Guo Jingchen, and bronze to Wang Lichao. For the women, gold to Lu Dong, silver to He Shengguo, and bronze to Liu Yu. And we have the 200 IM. for men and women SM11 class. Gold for the men to Roger Dorsman from Netherlands with a Paralympic record. Silver to Daniel Chufarov from Ukraine, and bronze to David Kratochvil from Czechia. For the women, Daria Lukyanenko from Neutral Athletes won gold with a world record. Silver to Ma Jia from China, and bronze to Kai Li Wen from China. In the S3 class, which is a leg and trunk impairment disability, for the 100-meter freestyle women's, gold to Leanne Smith from the USA with a Paralympic record, silver to Marta Fernandez Infante from Spain, and bronze to Rachel Watson from Australia. SM11 class for the 200 individual medley, both men and women did the SM13 class, which is near total visual impairment. Gold for the men went to Ihar Boki from Neutral Athletes with a world record. France's Alex Portal won silver, and bronze went to Vladimir Sotnikov from Neutral Athletes. If you remember Ihar Boki's name.
We've said it a lot.
That's right. He's got now 21 Paralympic titles overall in his career. He's also got his 5th gold medal right now.
From Paris.
Yep.
Yeah. He's been busy. I hope he brought an extra suitcase for his medals.
Right. Thank goodness Louis Vuitton made those cases, right?
He can ship them home in a lovely box. He's going to, remember we talked about the big trunks that Louis Vuitton made? He's going to need one just for himself.
The Ihar Boki collection.
Hey, there's a women's race with one of our peoples in it.
That's right. Olivia Chambers went into the finals with the best time in qualifying. Finals, slightly different story. Carlotta Gili from Italy won gold. Olivia got second she was just over a half a second behind. And then bronze went to Royson Ni Rian from Ireland.
So Olivia's second medal at her first Paralympics. She's a baby. She could easily do LA and Brisbane.
Yes. Very nice. In the S10 class, which is a very high level of mobility and coordination, 100-meter butterfly for men and women. For the men, gold goes to Stefano Raimondi from Italy, another familiar name. Silver went to Ihor Nimchenko from Ukraine, and bronze went to Alex Safi from Australia. For the women, Faye Rogers from Great Britain won gold. Kellyanne Warrington from Great Britain won silver, and Katie Cosgriff from Canada won bronze. Table tennis.
So first I want to mention yesterday, Millie Tapper was defeated in the quarterfinal of the women's singles class 10 by Chinese Taipei's Qian Xiao Wen 3-2.
Wow.
It was tight. That was a tight 3-2. So I did go to the evening session. Our Ian Seidenfeld was competing in the men's singles, but there was a set of matches before then. And one of them was Peter Rosenmeyer from Denmark. And remember those Danes from the opening ceremony? Mm-hmm. They bred. Because I talked to them afterwards and I said, were any of you at the opening ceremony? And they said no.
Oh, really?
So Denmark has sent an invasion force of fans to the Paralympics.
I'm here for that.
They were loud. They had signs. They had painted faces. Thank goodness Peter Rosenmeyer won in 5 sets. It was a barn burner. But I was slightly concerned because there was a Danish contingent on my side and then a second one on the opposite side. It was a lot of Danish fans at this table tennis. It was fantastic. The other one I saw was Matteo Boheas from France. He lost in his semifinal. Once again, the French crowd did not matter. So much Marseillaise, so much Matteo chanting. What an experience for these French athletes.
Oh, yeah.
What a talk about once in a lifetime experience. So I can see why a lot of American Paralympic Paralympians coming here are thinking, I got to hang on. I got to stick around and get that experience. I found the Dean Buxall of para table tennis.
That's not good.
It was not good. It was the coach of Tomono Yuri screaming and I assume swearing in Japanese, because there was some words that, given the way he said them, could only be a not good word. And you have to remember that at table tennis, there's at least 4, sometimes 6 matches going at the same time. And for a coach to be screaming at his player at every single point, it was very difficult to watch the other matches. I can't even imagine trying to play the other matches. I tried to find his name because I do want to call him out by name, but I could not find it in the information we had in my info. So I'll keep looking. It was bad. But you know what wasn't bad?
Our Eden Seidenfeld.
Yeah. So he was great. He was fantastic. And I got to talk to him after. So we got a little tape of how his match went. He played Alvaro Valera. And I think it made it onto the tape because some of it, we started talking before I was recording, before he kind of made it to us. His father never beat him. And Ian has never beat this player. That's how long this guy's been playing.
What? Wait a second. Like,
he's been playing. So Alvaro Valera has been playing since the 90s.
what?
This is his last go. And so this is the first time any Seidenfeld has beat Valero. So that was a big deal. And he talked, Ian talked a little bit about Valera has a degenerative disability. So over the years, and every time you play him, you have to play him a little differently.
You don't know what Valero's going to show up.
Exactly. So over the years, things have changed. Ian did not use his extender, though he had it with him.
Okay.
And he said, I didn't need it. It's there. And I asked him about all the approvals are there. There's no issue like there was in Tokyo. So that's all good. He looked really relaxed. He sounded great. He kind of laughed when I said, oh, you looked really relaxed. He was like, yeah, I guess. But he looked super sharp. And let me tell you something about, he's got this spin shot. And I said to him actually after, as he was walking away, I was like, that spin shot is nasty. He's like, I've been working on it. And it shows. I mean, that's the kind of spin shot that you see, and you don't need to know anything about racket sports, but you know the ball shouldn't do what it just did.
Ooh, nice.
So he was looking super sharp. He will have his semifinal against Matteo Perenzen of Italy on Thursday. We also have one medal event today, men's singles class 5. Gold goes to Tommy Erhau of Norway. Silver to Ming Chi Cheng from Chinese Taipei. Bronze, 2 bronzes in table tennis. Ali Ozturk from Turkey and Mitar Palikucha from Serbia.
In shooting parasport, we had rifle today. We had in the SH1 R7 men's 50-meter rifle 3 positions. Gold goes to Park Jin-ho from Korea, who broke the Paralympic record in both the qualification and the finals.
Because, breaking in the qualification was good enough. Got to do it again.
No, and what it wasn't good enough was just 1 gold, because this is his second. Silver goes to China's Dong Chao, and bronze to Marek Dobrolowski from Poland. For the women in the same class, gold goes to Natasha Hiltrup from Germany. Silver goes to Veronika Vadovikova from Slovakia, and bronze to Zheng Kuipin from China. Both of those 2, silver and bronze, were SH1 class. Final shot determined who won.
And this is crazy. Vadovikova has been doing this since Sydney 2000.
When I saw that, I was floored. And this is her 19th Paralympic final. Pretty stunning career.
We said before to do it for 3. She's been doing it a lot longer than people have been alive.
She's been doing it the entire century. In sitting volleyball, we had 2 sessions today for women and men, still in preliminary rounds. So
Last day.
USA beat Italy for the women 3-0, and it was pretty close. 25-21, 25-23, and 25-15. Laura Webster said that they started off a bit slow, but then they dominated in the last set. They're going to face Brazil for the semifinals. They know it's going to be a battle. Brazil's got a lot of energy, so they're going to be trying to match that energy and top it. The other preliminary round for women, China beat France 3-0. For the men, Brazil beat Ukraine 3-1. And Iran beat Germany 3-0.
So for the men, the matchups will be Iran and Egypt, and Bosnia-Herzegovina and Germany.
Yes. Wheelchair basketball. We had men's quarterfinals today. Germany beat Spain 57-49, putting Germany into the semifinals, first time since Barcelona 1992.
Speaking of centuries.
Then Canada beat the Netherlands 79-67. I was there for this match and then the last 2. Because of my internet phone problems, I spent the entire match chatting with Verizon trying to fix my phone. And we did everything and nothing has worked. They were down to what's your address right now? Because it was like I was on the 3rd set of people too that got through. And when I tried to send my address, I couldn't do it. It was like message not sent, retry. So this was a frustrating game, but just for me. And
for Netherlands.
Netherlands as well. But Canada beat them pretty heartily, 79-67. Great Britain versus Australia, 84-64 to Great Britain. This was a close game until
it wasn't.
So they were at the end of the 3rd quarter, there was only 5 points difference. And then Great Britain said, no, this is not going to happen. And they got some people with long arms. They have people with really long arms that would just put up one arm, palm a ball, and then chuck it into the basket. It was pretty sweet. Then the closing bout of the night was USA versus France. You would not know from the cheering that the score and the Mexican wave that went around for over 20 minutes that the final score was USA 82, France 47. Just from the very beginning, USA was dialed in. Steve Serio, the captain.
Is he fun to watch?
Oh, they're all fun to watch because the passing game is so good, but you could see his leadership just in his presence on the court and making plays. Brian Bell got a double-double.
Oh, yay.
So that means he got double-digit points and rebounds. He had 20 points. There were 4 players in double digits for points for USA. It was a great game for them. Just teamwork-wise, they looked so beautiful. They're going to the semifinals. They will face Canada on Thursday. The other semifinal matchup is Great Britain and Germany.
If that is late, that's the match I go to.
That's good.
Please be scheduled late in the evening. Paralympic basketball. I have other things I need to do that day.
Wheelchair fencing is getting underway. We had Sabre Day today. Women's sabre category A, China's Gu Haiyan won gold. Silver went to Kinga Drozda from Poland, and bronze went to Nino Tbilishvili from Georgia. Women's sabre category B, gold went to Sai Sunyi Jana from Thailand. Silver went to Zhao Rong from China, and bronze went to Olena Fedota Isieva from Ukraine. For the men's sabre category A, gold went to Maurice Schmidt from Germany, silver to Pierce Gilliver from Great Britain, and bronze to Eduardo Giordano from Italy. And in the men's category B, gold went to Feng Yanke from China, silver to Mikhail Dabrowski, and bronze to Zhang Jie from China. And then finally, we have wheelchair tennis.
We have some tennis. So we had women's singles quarters, men doubles quarters, women's doubles semifinal, where shockingly, De Groot and Van Koot won.
So that was a surprise.
That was a surprise, beating Ling and Zhu from China 6-2, 6-2. Kamiji and Tanaka from Japan beat Guao and Wang from China 6-0, 6-1. So, Didi De Groot's going to be in another Paralympic tennis final. Then we had the quad singles semifinals. Ahmet Kaplan fell to Niels Vinklin from the Netherlands 6-1, 6-1. And from Israel Sasson lost to Sam Schroeder from the Netherlands 7-6, 6-4. So this sets up the quad finals as Niels Vink and Sam Schroeder, who are doubles partners, both lost to Dylan Alcott in Tokyo, who's a legend among quad. He retires. And then these children, Vink is 21, Schroeder's 24, have taken up the mantle and just taken off with quad tennis. The quality of the play with these two is a lot of fun. But before they play their singles final, they have to play together tomorrow as a doubles team in the gold medal match for the doubles.
That'll be fun to watch. It's got to be interesting to be in the doubles and then compete with somebody for doubles and then play against them in another match.
You know, the difference with Paralympic wheelchair tennis versus Olympic tennis or Grand Slam tennis, there's time. You know, usually the doubles tournament and the singles tournament, yes, they're running at the same time, but it's not quite as intense of a schedule. You know, you're not going to have the two gold medal matches so back-to-back worked into. So you literally are training against each other and with each other on the same day.
We have a new mascot.
We do have a new mascot. Meet Waldo.
Okay, Waldo has been sick, so we need to send Waldo a lot of love.
Oh, I didn't know. Waldo was sick.
Waldo is not doing so well, but they think they know what's going on, and he hopefully will turn the corner.
Okay, well, listener Cindy, we already love Waldo. I can't wait to share some of these pictures because Waldo apparently likes to do yoga. So Cindy sent me a lot of yoga Waldo. And Waldo also has some fantastic judgy faces. So thank you so much, Cindy, for sharing Waldo with TKFLASTAN and for supporting the Kickstarter campaign that got us to Paris. We got 2 more medals today. So total of 6 gold, 3 silvers, 2 bronze.
We're doing well as a country.
Doing well.
And we still have people competing.
So I mentioned earlier, Alison Levine and her partner, Yulian Chabano, have their next mixed team preliminary match going tomorrow. And then we've got a whole bunch of other people doing stuff. So Noelle Malkamaki throws in the women's F46 shot put.
Dennis Connor and Samantha Bosco ride in individual time trials in road cycling. Samantha's in women's C4 and Dennis is in men's T1, T2. And can I tell you why we're not going to go to paracycling? I looked it up today because I wanted to know where it was. It's in a different suburb of Paris. This is Paris's most isolated suburb. There is no major road. There is no public transportation going there. There's nothing.
Apparently you need to ride a road cycle
I
to
guess
get
so.
there.
I guess so. So good luck, both Samantha and Dennis. We will be cheering for you from a little bit away.
We have 2 women's races in the pool to keep an eye on. Mackenzie Cohen in the S7 100 meter free and Jessica Long in the S8 400 meter free.
McKenna Gear will shoot in her final event, the mixed 50 meter rifle prone SH2 class.
And Ellen Geddes fences in women's foil category B.
And that will do it for this episode. Special thank you to our researcher, Elizabeth Emery.
And if you want to get in touch with us, you can reach us on X, YouTube, and Instagram at FlameAlivePod. Send us an email at flamealivepod@gmail.com. Call or text us at 208-352-6348. That's 208-FLAME-IT. Chat with us and other fans on our Facebook group, Keep the Flame Alive Podcast. And to get our special daily Games Time newsletter, sign up at our website, flamealivepod.com.
Join us again for more action from Paris tomorrow. And please tell your friends about the show, especially if they have not heard about the Paralympics. They need to get drawn in. We need more people watching these games because they are fun, fun, fun. Please hang out with us in the Facebook group because it's hopping. And thank you so much for listening. We've got on the back end of this is Grace Norman and Matt Stutzman and Ian Seidenfeld interviews, so please stick around for that. And until tomorrow, keep the flame alive.
Medal is gorgeous. How does it compare to? You've got a nice set of medals now.
I do.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
how does it compare to Rio and Tokyo?
Like the look of it?
Yeah.
It's
the feel.
gorgeous. Yeah, I feel like it's heavier than the other medals I've gotten.
Okay.
The look is gorgeous. The back is the Eiffel Tower under it with the aguitos, and the front has part of the original Eiffel Tower on it. And it's just so simple, clean, and just one of the most beautiful pieces of hardware I have.
Nice. I have questions for you. Real questions. Okay. But I'm like, I am blown away by them all. Can I touch it?
I haven't let many people touch it.
Okay.
But
I'll look at it.
okay.
Okay, we were very curious. How much time did you get to familiarize yourself with the river, if at all?
We were given 2 opportunities to swim in it leading into the race on Thursday morning and Friday morning. I did swim Thursday morning, so I did 1 lap of the course.
Okay. What'd you think? What did you think it was going to be like versus what was it like to swim in?
Yeah, so I swam in it last year at our test event.
Because they had familiarization there.
Yes,
so
we had, but not the actual race.
Right. Yeah.
So I kind of had an idea, but we didn't know the correct lines to swim. So this year it was definitely a lot more like we are swimming in this river. We need to learn how to best race in it and swim in it, and taking the proper lines and pinning yourself against the wall when you're coming back so you're not into the really full current in the center was really important to know and to familiarize myself with, and just learning how to swim in that current just a few days before. But I did feel that it really gave me a lot of insight into how to race, and getting into that water. It was probably, I know people aren't going to believe it, but it was very clean. It didn't smell bad. You could see the bottom. Yeah, like the city of Paris really did a phenomenal job cleaning it up, and I was very excited we were able to actually race in it.
Could you see the bottom last year?
I don't remember, but I don't think it was as clean last year.
Swimming against the wall, because I noticed this on the feed, that's because the current isn't as strong.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
the closer you went into the center, the harder the current was.
Okay. Delays. How early do they tell you about the delay?
Well, we went to bed on Saturday night with the email saying that we were going to swim, we were going to race, and so I went to bed thinking I was going to race. They did say it is contingent on our 3:30 a.m. meeting, and so at 4 a.m. we got the email that we were delayed to the next day. And it was not a fun time waking up. It was I was ready to go, and I was nervous and excited for that day. And then getting the delay was like, okay, let's rechannel, let's figure this out. And I was really excited that we got the news that we could race. It was around 11 p.m. the night before.
Okay. Then did you get enough sleep?
Yes, I did not have to. I went to bed before I got the email.
Okay.
So I woke up during the middle of the night and saw my email and knew that I could race the next day.
Okay. Race goes off. How was the swim?
It was good. It was harder than I thought it was going to be. I hadn't swam it at race effort and then with other people who are fighting you for that same line. And the adrenaline and everything pumping and excited for the next portion of the race. So I think it went really well. It was just harder than I wanted it to be during the actual race, but it did go well.
How was the transition? Because you guys went up a ramp.
Yeah.
And was that just
It was normal.
or longer?
Yeah, it was actually shorter than most races. It didn't feel taxing. I think Tokyo was way longer. We've had races that are up to 400 meters. So the whole thing was, I think, under 150 meters. So it wasn't very long. The ramp was covered well and not super steep, so it made it just kind of flowing into it, which was nice.
bike ride? How was the bike?
It was beautiful.
Cobblestones?
I love that course. It is technical, it is fast, it is fun. The cobbles are, keep you engaged. You can't kind of daydream during that course. And then all the people on it were just electric and exciting and kept your attention definitely throughout the entire race.
Does the technicalities give you an advantage because of how you ride?
I would say yes. I am a very skilled technical rider as well as pushing power, and so being able to feel secure on those cobbles and push and know how to take those turns and corners quickly saved me a lot of energy, whereas a lot of my competitors were using their brakes a lot more and slowing up into those corners. It gave me a lot of confidence the days leading up into the race, knowing that I'm a good technical rider and good at cornering, and got me really excited. And during the race, it definitely showed that it worked to my advantage.
And run, you were a little behind, but you caught up pretty quickly.
I was about 5 seconds out of transition behind, so I wouldn't say I was behind. But yeah, I entered the run third, and within the first 200 meters was able to gain first and hold that throughout the run.
Felt good going from... Hey, my brain is Swiss cheese right now. But obviously, it felt good in the run.
Yes, yeah. I led off the bike into T2. I had to change my prosthetics, whereas the women in my category are arm amputees, so they did not have to change anything.
Oh, okay.
So they put on their shoes, and I put on my prosthetic. So that's what made me exit transition a few seconds behind.
Okay.
But then I felt really strong. I got to see my family throughout the run course. It's a fast, fun course. And it's a short lap, so you can see people, you can see your competitors pretty much at every 600 meters, which was really helpful. Just to kind of know where I was pulling away, gave me more confidence, and it was a lot of fun.
When did you know you had it in the bag?
200 meters into the run.
Okay. You're like, nobody's passing me.
Yeah, I knew once I made that pass, I took a little side eye back and saw they had clung together, and I knew it was a race for silver, not for gold.
Nice,
yeah.
Nice. That gives you more confidence.
It did.
Right?
It did.
How's the last 24 hours been? What sunk in? What did you think what it would be like?
It's phenomenal. I won 8 years ago when I was 18 years old, but winning this gold now as a different person, different athlete, it's been more than I could imagine. I got to celebrate with my entire family, friends who flew all the way here, who have been with me this entire year through the ups and downs and a lot of the challenges. I raced with so much joy and gratitude for what God has brought me through this year and how I've grown as a person and as an athlete. And so to be able to have this gold medal and share it with so many people, it's been very surreal and led to a pretty sleepless night last night of just looking at all the photos, kind of unbelievable of how far I've come, how far God's brought me through, and just very grateful.
What's been the response from Ohio? Have they been going crazy?
Yes, Ohio has definitely backed me and excited to bring home another gold.
I think that's it.
Thank you.
Oh, hey, I am recording. Okay, so you know that show 48 Hours where, like, the first 48 hours after a murder are the most important?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so walk us through the first 24 hours after your victory.
I'll give you, has it been 48 hours?
No, I don't know. I don't even know what
so
day it is, Matt.
I'm pretty sure it might have already be 48 hours. How about I just do that?
Yeah,
but
let's
I think
go.
I have, like, 3 hours of sleep a day since that.
I know what that's like. I'm right there with you.
The first night I didn't sleep at all because the adrenaline, it just didn't want to wear off. So like I get back to the room at probably 2 o'clock in the morning from just, all the stuff you have to do. And then I lay there awake, fall asleep at probably 3:30. And then like at 5 or 6 o'clock, I'm wide awake and I can't go back to bed. And then I get up and do a full day of, family and media and spending time with them, and then last night 3 more hours of sleep, and
here you are
that's
doing it again.
That's it. And it honestly hasn't quite sunk in.
That was my next question. What has sunk in?
Nothing really. Like I still have probably 2,100 messages to respond to. So I try to just chip away at it every night. You really can't get to everybody, but the one thing that has set in the most was that my family the way they seemed afterwards, and the fact that they allowed me to bring them on the podium with me after it was all said and done, which I believe is the first time that's ever happened at a games.
That's cool.
Like, I don't know, just the way my kids were reacting. They didn't want to leave. They wanted to spend more time here. I don't know. The reason why I brought them here was for them to understand what Dad has been doing for the last 14 years. And I think they got it. And I don't know. I think it brought us all closer in a very good way. So
That'll be cool to see what happens when you go home and see how they've changed because of this trip, you know?
Yeah. I don't know, but just during this whole trip, they've been the most amazing. And I have boys, and they're little rebels like we've all been, but they have been the most amazing kids. I'm almost shocked. Those are my kids. This is amazing. Wow, they're
give them a passport.
Yeah, absolutely. I was so proud of them, and just the way that they responded and cheered and helped people, and just the way they, were. I don't know. It was awesome.
What's the reality what you thought it would be to get the gold?
So this might shock you. My focus on this games wasn't a gold medal.
Okay.
So for me, it was making memories.
Mm-hmm.
We've been calling this the Memories Games for probably a year now.
Okay.
To come over here and make as many memories as possible. My family has never flown before, nor have they ever left the country. My mom and dad have, but as far as my boys are concerned, so first time on a plane, first time leaving Iowa or the U.S. And if you look at the matches I had to go to get to where I won, and the historic and what they all meant, and then my family was here, and then I got to meet Jackie Chan one of those nights.
Yeah.
I
was there that night.
I just all the memories have come true. When you call it the memories game, when you call it the memories game, they've come true. I don't know how you top this anywhere else.
I don't know if this is sunk in yet. What's it like to have reached the pinnacle of your sport? Have you thought about that? You got to the top.
And this might be the competitive person in me, but when I shot my last arrow and I jumped out of my chair and I ran over to the coach and we were hugging, and my first thing out of my mouth was, "Oh, I almost shot a perfect score. I was one off perfect." That's what it had nothing to do with winning gold. I just won. It was I only missed, I almost would have been the first person to ever shoot a perfect score. And I was just that's what I was and even then I didn't even pay attention that it was a record at the time. So, I was just chasing that perfect score because I knew I had to shoot a perfect score to beat him. So that's where my mind was, to be honest.
Okay. That's all my brain.
All right,
that's all
awesome.
my brain can handle right now.
That's okay.
Can we reach out to you in maybe 6 months,
Absolutely.
8 months, and then
Feel
and
free.
do it?
You have all my information still?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
Because it'd be
absolutely.
great to talk to you again.
Once
it's all settled down.
Are you still recording?
Yes.
Look, I caught wind that there might be a big parade for me when I get home. So after all that and all that, I ask me these questions again, and I'll have time to everything to process.
Yeah. That's what we like.
Yeah. So absolutely feel free to reach out.
Okay, excellent.
Right,
thank you, Matt. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very nice job. Congratulations. I'm Alison Brown from Keep the Flame Alive. We met at the Team USA Summit.
I remember, yeah.
How is it? Great match.
Yeah.
How is it going so far for you?
Well, I played Alvaro Valera, I have a tremendous amount of respect for. He's really a legend. My dad played against him when he played, and I played him twice before. Neither one of us had ever beaten him, so this was very sweet, and from what I understand, one of his last tournaments. And so I have a tremendous amount of respect for how he plays and the character of him, so it's nice.
You had the extender out on the table with you. Any issue this time around with getting it approved?
No, everything is approved. Rules are, official, and so I don't worry about the extension at all, other than how to use it and playing against him. And I didn't need to use it in this match, but I expect to use it in the next match in the semifinals.
And What happens between now and then for you?
We get, I believe, a day off, so I'll rest, try and recover. I feel pretty sore right now, and so just trying to rest as much as possible, really.
You did a little bit of a comeback in this match. You did look very calm, though. Okay, were you not calm?
I was more calm than usual, but it's never fun being down 8-1, 8-2. You know you have to claw your way back, and really it's just taking it one point at a time. It sounds simple, but you really are just point by point. And I kind of gave up on the game, actually, and just let things be and try to win as many points, get some momentum for the next game. But it turned out we played some points went in my favor.
Very good. I'm going to record if you don't mind.
I just kind of want to get you to reiterate, walk me through the emotions of that being down 8-1 in the second.
Yeah. My mind just goes to I gotta start playing better and get some balls on the table and give him a chance to miss. I knew he was playing really well at that time, but he was playing really badly in the first game. So there's always ups and downs, and you have to ride them out. And I ultimately came out with the last point of the game.
I noticed you were challenging him laterally a lot. Is that part of the game plan for you?
Yeah, I think sometimes we can get stuck in the game plan, and I definitely did in the first couple games, trying to hit one side of the table, and it was pretty one-dimensional of a game for me. To try to do that, it made his job a little easier. So I had tried to open up the table a little bit more later in the second game and the third game, to make him not just stay on his forehand side like I was trying to, and it made me more tight trying to hit just direct spots. So it was definitely a game plan because everyone does that to him based on his disability, but it ultimately maybe backfired a little bit, and we had to change.
Kind of on top of that, what about his game makes him such a strong opponent?
He's a really smart player. I think he was playing in the 90s. Like I said, he played against my dad before, and so he's just really smart. He knows how to win matches. He knows how matches can go up or down over time, and so he's always ready to win. But his disability is degenerative, so I could tell there were things that were different than maybe the last time I had played him or when he had played my dad, where he has maybe less control than he used to.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Ian. Best of luck.